Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is the case of Connor versus Wallace.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Good day. Mr. Connor, you say a one-time fling with the defendant turned into more than 15 years of child support payments and even jail time for a child you have never believed is yours. You need today's results to prove you are not her child's father. Ms. Wallace, you and your husband claim the plaintiff knows he is your son's biological father and want him to pay what he owes when the results prove it today. Mr. Wallace, you say you trust your mother, but acknowledge Mr. Connor's recent actions have given you doubt. Mr. Connor, explain to the court why today's results are so important.
Today's results are so important, Your Honor, because I need to undo a terrible injustice that's been inflicted upon me and my family. It's caused a lot of problems, financially especially. It's times when I can't afford things. I've even been to jail. 2005, November the 5th until January 2006.
For failure to pay child support.
For failure to pay child support, that is correct, Your Honor. And there was no home for me to go to. I lost that. I lost my car, I lost my job. I was 36 years old. I had to start all over. It's making my character look real bad, Your Honor. And I know for a fact that she know he's not my son.
2.5 months in jail.
Yes.
Child support in arrears.
Yes, I still owe $610. They're taking $70 a week. Yes, I'm broke.
Your Honor, he just wants off child support. For one, it was more than just a one-night fling.
You know Jeffrey isn't my child, and I have you on Facebook.
You can quit pointing your fingers because I'm an adult.
But no, you're not. No, you're not. What kind of adult?
I'm 42 years old.
Their child
I'm 42 years old, Your Honor. I raised my 3 kids by myself. You not one time knew what I had to struggle and go through
because I know he's not my
myself.
Son.
All right, so I'm not sitting up here whining and talking about what me and my kids had to go without eating.
Your kid is not my problem.
My son Jeffrey had holes in his shoes and growing up going to school.
That's his dad's fault.
Mama had to, yeah.
That's his dad's fault.
Okay. Who is his father then?
You know, I don't.
Who is his? You said you know.
It's not me.
You said you know.
Ms. Wallace.
It's not me.
Tell the court, you say your son had to grow up without...
Yes. Ask Jeffrey. Ask him. He went to school with holes in his shoes.
Why was you telling him for years that another man was his father as well?
Jeffrey, have I ever told you that another man was your father? Ask my son, Your Honor.
Let's pause, and I want to go back a little bit and understand. Mr. Connor, you say the relationship with Ms. Wallace was a one-night stand.
Yes.
Can you tell me about that? Do you remember this relationship, encounter?
There wasn't a relationship. I met her through a family member. We all used to hang out a little bit here or there in the fall. We came together one time, and up on penetration, she changed her mind, and that was that. I never knew anything about Jeffrey. She had a friend who told me, "Oh, did you sleep with Wanda?" I said, "No, not really, sort of." Then I told her what happened. There was penetration. I told her the story, and then she said, "Well, I just wanted to tell you, she was pregnant already."
So I want to understand your testimony. You're saying that you did start to have a sexual encounter.
Yes.
But then at some point, Ms. Wallace, changed her mind?
She changed her mind.
She said she didn't want to do it?
Yeah, she changed her mind.
And you said, fine, because no is no.
Yeah.
And you never completed the act?
No.
And it never lasted more than one night? You never had sex again?
No.
That's not true either.
What do you remember, Ms. Wallace?
I remember him and I being in a whole year relationship, and we had sex numerous of times, Your Honor. Ooh. And he did know. Well, I got sick. How I found out that I was pregnant. I got sick. My mom taking me to my doctor's appointment, and that's when I found out I was 2 months pregnant. And I called Jewett and I told you.
You
Back
never
then
told
we
me.
had you a lie.
You never told
Back
me.
then we had pagers. Shut your lying butt up.
Hold on.
Okay.
Let
Back
me-
then we had pagers.
You popped up with him
I
when he was
messaged him,
3
Your
or 4
Honor.
years
Can I
old.
please
Mr.
talk?
Connor, I'm going to give you a chance to respond. I promise I will give you a chance to respond.
He very
Ms. Wallace,
disrespectful.
I want you to speak and I want to hear what you're saying. You
Yes,
say,
ma'am.
Do you remember the day you told him?
I do not remember
Do you remember how you told him?
I never
Yes.
heard about
Hold
the
on,
pregnancy.
Mr. Connor.
Oh, over the phone.
So you called him.
Yes, I called him and we spoke over the phone. We used to have, as he called it, phone sex. So anyways, we will talk over the phone all the time. And yes, when Jeffrey was born, yes, I did take our son over to his father's house. And when the stuff hit the fan is when I popped over his house, it was another female there. And his sister told me that he was upstairs with another woman. And
All right, pause right there. If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Ms. Wallace is saying you all were intimate for a year, and when
We
she
never
found out she
had
was pregnant,
a
she called you.
relationship at all, Your Honor.
Do you
If it
remember?
was
Do you remember being told she was pregnant?
Only by the friend, and I blew that off because a penetration act, she intentionally done this. That's a crime, what she did. She knew.
And why would she intentionally trap you?
At the time, I was doing pretty good. So I had a little BMW. We were young. Couple of them. I was watching them. I say, all of a sudden, here come the child support. I think maybe she thought I had a little money as well. Maybe.
So can I ask
Back
you, you
then.
say you saw Jeffrey when he was 3 or 4 months old. She brought him over. Both of you all at least agree on that. I want to know when's the next time you saw him.
I seen him when he was 5. He came to my mother's funeral, repast.
And you agree to that, Miss Wallace?
Yes, ma'am.
That
Yes, Your
happened.
Honor.
And
Yes.
during the time from 3 to 4 months to 5 years old, did you all ever have conversations about Jeffrey at all?
Yes, me
Yes.
and her
Yes, he
had a
told
couple
me
of
that he wanted to
conversations.
be in his son's life. I told him I did not want to be in a relationship with him. You know.
You're a professional liar. Man,
And you know what? I'm not going to even, disrespect you because I'm a woman.
that's not disrespect.
So,
You committed a crime.
Like I said, Your Honor, this man, he wanted to be with me, and I did not want to be with him.
All right, but did you discuss Jeffrey and
Yes.
whether or not you were going to
Our
raise him,
discussion was-
child support?
He wanted me to be with him in order to be in Jeffrey's life. I should not have to be in a relationship with a man in order for him to even help with his child. The courts told him and gave him a date.
I wasn't there.
He never
I didn't
showed.
get served.
Oh, God. Yes, he did, Your
No.
Honor.
And I understand how that happens. Trust me, that's
Yeah,
called
called a
being
default.
It's right. It's called a default
Yeah.
judgment. And if the father doesn't show up to court,
Yes.
he will be named the father by default and required to pay court-ordered child support. Regardless, you're here now. You've suffered all the consequences of that. And I honestly say to myself, Mr. Connor, he must really believe and he's not this young man's biological father. Because the truth is, they've put you on record as the legal father.
Yeah.
That's why you're responsible for support.
Yeah.
And I can't really understand that, except for the fact that you truly believe you are not his biological father.
Yes. I know.
Jeffrey, I want to ask you, I know this testimony has been difficult. I thank you for being patient. Can you tell me, when was the first time you met Mr. Connor?
The first time that I met Jewett here, that I recall meeting, I was like, 10 years old at that point. I remember my mom, some other family members were riding around East St. Louis, and we decided to stop through this drive-through liquor store. And one of my family members was like, "Hey, that's your dad."
So when you see this man and they just casually say, "This is your dad," does
Yes,
he
ma'am.
say hello to you?
Yeah, he said, "Hey," but it wasn't like a conversation further than that because I just hurry up and got back in the back seat because I'm like, I don't have a dad. So like, how can any member of my family just say, "Hey, that's your dad"? Because prior to then, no one really spoke to me, that I recall, spoke to me like, "Hey, this is your dad," and everything. So prior to that particular point, I never really thought like, "Hey, who's my dad?" There wasn't a thought for me. But after the liquor store incident, that's when I started wondering and everything.
All right.
And we ended up, so after I started asking my mom a lot of questions, I guess she was like, "Hey, it's time for you to actually like hang out with that side of your family. So that summer, after church, we go over there. But when I was there, I spent more time with his sister and my cousins and everything. And so,
Mr. Connor, do you remember this time when Jeffrey came to visit your family?
Yeah, I do kind of, sort of. I came over there and he was already there and my wife asked me who he was.
I'd like to hear from your wife. Ma'am, please stand and step over to the podium. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'd like to know what you know about this situation.
When Jeffrey was 10, we came home one day to the house, and he was sitting on the couch, and I just asked Jewett, who is that? And he said, that's Jeffrey, and I already knew the situation. He had already told me.
What had he told you?
That basically that Wanda put a baby on him. He attempted to have sex with her, and...
At this point, when Jeffrey was 10, was your husband paying child support for Jeffrey?
Yes, he was paying child support for Jeffrey already. And we didn't see Jeffrey again until he was, I want to say maybe like 15 or so. He stopped by the house one day.
And you didn't make any effort to stay in contact with him?
I did. I reached out to him on social media because he wrote a big paragraph on Facebook saying, where's my dad and why was I never part of your family and, that kind of stuff. So I called, I asked Jeffrey for his number and I had Jewett to call him and Jewett told him, I'm not your dad. That's why you didn't spend time with the family.
Do you remember writing that?
I do. I do. There was this particular scene from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when Will is like having a conversation with his dad and his dad is like trying to leave and basically not be a part of his life anymore. And that kind of just like really hit home for me. I decided to express myself on Facebook, and then as Ms. Trina said, she did reach out to me, and they kind of both told me at that point that it's a possibility I may not be his child, and that was the first time I ever heard that. So it was kind of like just earth-shattering at that point for me. And then when I hear them say, hey, I may not be his child, it got me thinking like, darn, my presence on this earth just made a negative impact on someone else's life.
Oh,
No.
And,
no,
No.
honey.
Because your mother loved you with all her heart. You know that. You my
Yes,
twin.
ma'am.
And I showed love for ever since the day that I had you. You are my world. And I played the mother and father role because I knew what he was denying you. So I made it the best. I did the best that I could do.
All right,
In
Ms.
a
Wallace.
one household parent.
And I need you to allow Jeffrey to speak
Yes, ma'am.
because really
Yes,
it
Your
is
Honor.
about him.
Yes,
And he
yes.
does deserve the opportunity to say what he feels.
Yes.
He shouldn't have to post it on Facebook. He should be able to say it face to face to Mr. Connor and to you, to everyone. It's his truth.
Yes, Your Honor. I love my son with all my heart.
That's your son.
I love him with all my heart.
You victimized.
Oh, no,
both
no, no.
of us.
Hold on, Mr. Connor.
See?
This is a moment that I need you to understand. I brought up your son, and then you brought up Mr. Connor. I brought up your son. You brought up Mr. Connor. I brought up your son. You brought up I. I brought up your son. I. It goes back to you. I love him. We
Your
know
Honor.
that. But what I'm saying is, in this moment,
Yes.
this is just about him.
Yes, ma'am.
Because as much as you love him, that doesn't change the fact that when he watched that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air
Yep.
episode,
Yep. He told
he did not write about why he didn't have a mama, because he had one.
Yes, ma'am.
He wrote about why he didn't have a father.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
All
Your
right.
Honor.
I think we need to get the results.
Yes, ma'am.
Jerome? These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Connor versus Wallace, when it comes to 24-year-old Jeffrey Wallace, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Connor, you are not the father.
I already knew it. She committed a crime. She set me up. I knew this all the time.
It's a
I'm done.
I understand you are frustrated, and I understand you have been through a lot.
Already do.
I want to
All
turn
the
my
time,
attention
I
to
do.
Jeffrey. So, Jeffrey, are you all right, honey?
Not really. Yeah, not really. More so because of my mom, she was very, very, very adamant that Jewel was the dad, so that made me more adamant as well.
I know.
And I just want to apologize first. Like, I know it's nothing that I've done.
You don't have to.
But
You're a great person.
thank
You're a
you.
very great person.
And it's just like
I would have loved you to have been my son, but I just
Yeah.
knew.
at this point, I never, like, before this whole incident, I never even knew that there was another possibility.
That's okay, and that's why we have Dr. Jeff here for you, for all of you, because this isn't easy. Family issues, family things.
Ma'am, you can't come up here. Stay here. You stand behind the podium.
Love you.
I want you to take advantage of the counseling and the resources, and I wish you all the very best. Court is adjourned.
Thank you.